Do you like action scenes and fight choreography? Do you like B-movie sci-fi fantasy?
Over the Earth, every 6 years, causes a portal. But when it's open,
And comic book transitions? As well as Nicolas Cage?
he's crazy, like me.
Hello, my name is John, and I'm a one-stop shop for action movies, comic book movies, and the occasional horror movie reviews and rankings. So if any of that interests you, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and smash that thumbs up icon and comment your feelings about Jiu Jitsu in the comments down below. And let's get started.
Is Alien Politics 5 through 15?
So Jiu Jitsu stars Juju Chan, Frank Grillo, who's an underappreciated actor that I always enjoy seeing, as well as foreign action star Tony Jaa, and of all people, Nicolas Cage, with Alain Moussi, I hope I pronounced that right, in the leading role. And it's directed by Dimitri Logothetis. And so in Jiu Jitsu, there's this warrior god, the god who brought Jiu Jitsu into the world. So I guess the god of Jiu Jitsu. And every 6 years, he resurfaces through this mystical portal, which opens every time this comet passes Earth every 6 years. And this group of assassins has to defeat him before this comet completely passes Earth. And so the biggest positive I can give this movie is its fight scenes and its fight choreography. And this movie knows exactly what it is. It basically goes from fight scene to fight scene to fight scene to fight scene to weirdly out of place melodramatic romantic scene to fight scene to fight scene to fight scene. And so moving on to the acting and the characters, nobody's going to win any awards for this movie, but they do the job they came there to do. They do a good enough job with that, and they're also not given a whole lot of depth to work with their characters. And so moving on to the visuals, this is probably my biggest issue with this film personally. And a lot of that's just due to some weird cinematography choices that they make in a couple action scenes. The action scene that introduces you to Tony Jaa's character, overall, it was a great action scene, and you could tell there was some good choreography put in, and it was really well done. But there's just a couple odd cinematography choices that just felt off to me. Like, there's an instance where he's, like, running on top of this wall, and he's raiding, like, this. There's no spoilers, really, in this. It's towards the very beginning of the movie. And you can see, like, a group of soldiers on one side of the wall, and Tony Jaa jumps on that side of the wall to go fight those guys, but the cameraman goes on the other side of the wall. And so you're just spending a couple seconds just staring at a wall, hearing Tony Jaa beat up the group of guys, rather than actually seeing it. You do get a great visual of one of the guys coming through the wall and smashing through the wall. But you don't get to see Tony Jaa beat up the rest of the guys that he beat up before that. And also in that same action sequence, there's a point in time where they do this weird hardcore Henry POV style of shooting the fights. And personally, I don't like that. I know there's a few fans of hardcore Henry, but personally, it kind of gives me a headache, and I hate watching that POV style unless I'm in a video game. And then there's also a couple scenes where they do like this reverse GoPro thing where it's shooting people's face as they're like running, and it has a weird look. Then also about halfway through, there's an action scene that the cinematography choice I think sounds good on paper, where they do like these flips and stuff, and they move the camera along with it. And so the camera does this spiral barrel roll thing. And on paper, I get the idea of the camera moving with the flip, but in reality, unless you slow it down, in reality, you can't see anything happening. It's just this awkward quick spiral motion. It doesn't necessarily have Oscar-winning special effects or anything, but I think for this type of movie, it has some pretty good special effects. And so moving on to the story, it's pretty straightforward. They just have to stop this warrior god and get him back in the portal before the comet passes. But there's some decent stuff thrown in there. I mean, the dialogue's pretty cheesy and straightforward, but you get some nice comedic lines like alien politics line. And I think they did a good enough job putting this mystery around Nicolas Cage's character. The twist is fairly predictable. It's not actually where my head was going. I thought they were going to give it more of a sci-fi twist to his character to make it an even more sci-fi bonkers movie. But the twist that they did end up giving him, I think did add a little bit of heart to the movie. And then lastly, the sound. There's not too much to say, but I do think the sound did a good enough job keeping you engaged into the action scenes and engaged into the movie. So overall, Jiu Jitsu is not going to win any awards. It's far from the best action movie of the year, but I also think it's far from the worst. And so the best way to determine whether you should watch this movie or not is to just watch the trailer. If the trailer seems interesting and fun enough to you, I think you'll find enough enjoyment in it. If you think the trailer and premise sounds stupid, watching this movie is not going to change that. And so if you're an action sci-fi fan, I think it's a decent enough, fun, wild ride that you could enjoy on a laid-back Saturday or Sunday afternoon and just enjoy some popcorn and beer. And so even though it has a lot of faults, I still think Jiu Jitsu deserves a 3. So thanks for watching this video. Jiu Jitsu comes out this Friday, and if you like the trailer, I'd kind of recommend checking it out. I think you'll find enough enjoyment. And so comment your opinions about either the trailer or the movie if you happen to have seen it. And if you like this video, if you like me, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. And smash that subscribe button as well if you want a one-stop shop for action movies, comic book movies, and the occasional horror movie reviews and rankings. And I will return next time when I see you again.